Okay, first item up is adoption of the consent agenda, approval of the consent calendar. Anyone give me a motion on that, please?
So moved.
Thank you. I have a motion by Alderman Lightford. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Alderman Jones. Any discussion? Will the clerk call the roll?
Camper?
Yes.
Sorry. Leonard?
Yes.
Warner?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Lightford?
Yes.
Norman?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, citizen comments. First up, we have Dennis Dietert.
Good evening, Board. My name is Dennis Dietert. Been a citizen of Troy since 2001. One of my concerns is this annexation process from last month. According to the state of Missouri Attorney General, the process for a city of the fourth class, which is Troy, first thing they have to do is to pass an ordinance to adopt that annexation in. After the annexation's in, the way Troy's structured, it comes in an R1. After R1, then they vote to change it to whatever they want, whether it be R2, R3, C1, C2, C3, I1, or whatever. My biggest concern with this is, one, the process is wrong, but two, the added problems it's going to create to the city of Troy. And when I say that, we're going to have to increase the police force for all these multiple three-story apartment complexes that go into the city. It puts a burden on our infrastructure, puts a burden on our water part of it. Any of you that have lived here any length of time realize that in the past years we've had times when you can't wash your car, you can't water your grass, you can't water your garden, you got to conserve water, but we keep adding these huge family projects in a small concentrated area. This one in particular creates a problem when in the past we've always tried to annex everything that was alongside the city lines. Well, I guess this one is because the other side of the highway, which is either BJ or Boone or whatever you want to call it, or used to be Highway 47. To the east of it is not City of Troy. To the north of it is not City of Troy. To the west of it is not City of Troy. So the whole process kind of throws an alarming factor. Plus the water runoff that it can create, because now we're taking what could be multiple houses in which has green space, which allows the water to circle into the ground, and now it's rooftops and asphalt, which creates more flooding. Well, if you can remember back, and I think it might have been before some of you were on the board, but they voted to take in the Kiwanis Park right after massive amounts of water damage because of flooding. Now the people that live up and down that creek really realize how much damage we get. Now I'm at the beginning of that creek. I can show you photos and videos of water 3 foot high on the back of my house. Well, not my house, but the wall that I've got built to protect the back of my house. So now we're going to add more water to that. West Hampton, which has problems, but they're on a minor area part of it. All that water drains through that east side of the West Hamptons, which creates an issue. If anybody knew where Mark and Phyllis Cross live, the vacant lot next to them is still vacant because every time it rains it floods. If they put a house there, it would have flood issues. So we continue to do this, and that creek runs all the way through the city of Troy. Anybody that's been by the high school will notice that when it floods, that's that creek. So it increases that. I really am concerned about what is the hidden agenda to all of this. You know, Jeff, you're going to have to increase your police force. Jeff, you guys are going to have to increase your public works even more because it's throwing more of a burden on all of the infrastructure, whether it be the streets. You're throwing a large housing project across the street from a, what we call it, middle school, not really middle school, elementary school. No sidewalks, so the kids got to walk in the street, through the fields, through the yards. The closest sidewalk is on Highway J. It doesn't make sense to put something that huge. They didn't have to annex into the city to do what they're doing. Not one bit. The only thing that saves them is the fact that when they hook up to the city water and sewer, they'd have to pay extra. That is the only thing. The city doesn't gain anything by having it except a minute amount of taxes. But the water burden, the safety of the children, it's just unheard of. You know, it brings up the point of the people that's involved into it with Bridge of Hope. I'm kind of for the Bridge of Hope. I understand what they're doing, and I commend them for what they do. The problem being is I've had numerous officers tell me that they would drop their problem childs into this county, and they have. I've got a garden plot at the health department. I seen something there the other day. I can't even figure out how to put it verbally and put it to where it's politely. But I'm gonna try my best. As I'm up there pulling the weeds in the garden, there's a young man and a young lady laying underneath the tree on the other side of the gardens. And she's performing an oral act on him in the middle of the day. After they got done, they got up and went back to the Bridge of Hope. I've always thought I had an open mind. The one guy come out there, jet black hair, don't have nothing against black hair, but seeing in that spaghetti strap dress really threw it off. Made me wonder what the world's going on. What are we getting ourselves into?
Try to wrap it up.
But, you know, I'll wrap it up here real quick. But anyway, I just want everybody to realize before you vote on this tonight to annex us into the city, take a second thought of what's really going to happen, the impact to the Troy. And it's not just the beginning impact. It's the long-term impact that's going to last way after I'm gone, way after some of you are gone, but it will affect your children. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next up, we have Phil Rizzuta. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, I just came tonight to talk about traffic issues on Trojan Circle. People, it's 25 miles an hour. They want to drive 50 and 60 miles an hour down the street or even faster. They come around the corner up by Kiwanis Park. There's no sidewalk to get up to the park, a small section of it. And I was walking the dog the other day and I had to get off the road or this guy would have ran me over. And something has to be done. You know, maybe some tickets written, maybe an officer setting up some radar over there, but it is getting to be a really bad deal. So I'm hoping that maybe you guys can help me out.
Okay, we'll look into it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I believe that brings us to introduction of bills. Got several of them here. I have to read them twice, so bear with me. Bill number 1399, an ordinance providing for a change in zoning classification of parcel number 157-025-003-006-011-000 from R1 Single Family Residential District to R3 PD Multifamily Residential District Plan Development, and authorizing a change in the zoning map for the city of Troy, Missouri. Second reading, Bill number 1399, an ordinance providing for a change in zoning classification of parcel number 157-025-003-006-011-000 from R1 Single Family Residential District to R3 Plan Development Multifamily Residential District, and authorizing a change in the zoning map for the city of Troy, Missouri. Can I get a motion?
So move.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion by Alderman Lyford, a second by Alderman DeKemper. Any discussion on this item? The clerk can call the roll whenever you're ready.
Lyford,
Yes.
Dorman,
Yes.
DeCamper,
Yes.
Dunner,
No.
Horner,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item B, Bill number 1400, an ordinance voluntary annexing a parcel number 158027000002800 by request of Troy Housing LP into the city of Troy, Missouri. Second reading. Bill number 1400, an ordinance voluntary annexing a parcel number 158027000002800 by request of Troy Housing LP into the city of Troy, Missouri. Can I get a motion?
So move.
Thank you, Alderman Lyford. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Alderman Jones is seconding. Any discussion on this item? None being stated, we'll ask for the roll, please.
Lyford,
Yes.
Norman,
No.
DeCamper,
Yes.
Dunner,
No.
Horner,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
4-2, motion carries. Thank you. Item C, Bill number 1401, an ordinance providing for a change in zoning classifications of parcel number 158-027-000002800 from R1 Single Family Residential District to C1 Central Business District and authorizing a change in the zoning map for the city of Troy, Missouri. Second reading, Bill number 1400, an ordinance providing for change in zoning classification of parcel number 158-027-000002800 from R1 Single Family Residential District to C1 Central Business District and authorizing a change in the zoning map for the city of Troy, Missouri. Can I get a motion, please?
So move.
Alderman Lyford made a motion to approve. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Alderman DeKemper. Any discussion on this item? Call the roll, please.
Lyford,
Yes.
Norman,
Yes.
DeCamper,
Yes.
Dunner,
No.
Horner,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item D, Bill number 1402, an ordinance establishing the salary schedule for all employees of the city of Troy, Missouri. Second reading, Bill number 1402, an ordinance establishing the salary schedule for all employees of the city of Troy, Missouri. I'll entertain a motion on that item.
I'll make that motion.
Alderman Norman has made a motion to approve. Can I get a second, please?
I'll second.
Alderman Dooner has seconded. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, I'll call for the roll.
Norman,
Yes.
DeCamper,
Yes.
Dunner,
Yes.
Horner,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Lyford.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. And that brings us to item 10F. Discuss and approve special event request from Harvest Christian Church requesting the use of fireworks on July 27, 2024. Parks Director Ryan Howell.
Yeah, I don't know if I have anybody here from the church, but this is just a change of date. Their previous date in July was rained out. Or June 29th,
Yes.
moved to July 27th. Same exact setup, same everything. They just canceled due to weather, so.
So they had an event that was approved by the board for July, or June 29th, I'm sorry. Weather didn't allow them to hold that event, so they're requesting them change that event to this date. Can I get a motion on this item?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Alderman Jones has made a motion to approve, second by Alderman Norman. Any discussion? These gentlemen are here to answer any questions you might have. I don't hear any questions. I'll call for the roll, please.
Jones,
Yes.
Lyford,
Yes.
Norman,
Yes.
DeCamper,
Yes.
Dunner,
Yes.
Horner,
Yes.
Motion carries. Your event has been approved. Thank you. Item G, approval of supplemental agreement for grit contract with Woodard & Kern. You have a copy on the dais here. They're currently involved with a contract that we approved to implement a grit removal system in our wastewater treatment facility. In the process of doing that, some screening that had been left out of the original plant design was, they offered to do the design work for that additional screening, which is a redundancy, but it would help keep some of the trash out of our grit system once it's installed. And thought it'd be a good time to tackle that design and put this on the bid agreement as a, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Alternate, thank you. So we have a couple of representatives from the company here to answer any questions. The amount was $20,000. You can see it there on the dais. So I'll take a motion on that, and then we can have any discussion you'd like to have.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Alderman Norman's made a motion to approve, second by Alderman Dennard. Any questions or concerns on this item? Call for the roll, please.
Norman,
Yes.
DeCamper,
Yes.
Dennard,
Yes.
Horner,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Lifer.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item H, approval to waive the purchasing policy for a used tractor purchase. We approved the budget. There was money placed in there for a tractor for the wastewater treatment facility.
What'd you find?
So we found a very nice Case 95 horse tractor. We happened to stumble across it just talking to a guy from a duck club, and they used it to just mow grass and brush off with. Still got plastic on the seats. So we're in the 28,000 range. A lot better than 60,000 for brand new, and this thing's like brand new, very low hours. So we didn't want to miss out on it. So we had to waive the purchasing policy so we're tickled pink as long as we can get this thing through.
So can I get a motion on approval of item H, please?
I'll make that motion. Oops, sorry.
Everybody wants to approve it. So,
I'll second it.
all right, we have a motion by Alderman Lyford and a second by Alderman Jones.
So we budgeted
We
60,000.
budgeted, well, no, we cut it down to 30. We were at 60 for a brand new one, and we thought, let's find one that's used.
Okay.
And then with it being four-wheel drive, it's a no-brainer, so.
So, yeah, on a used equipment, the purchasing policy, there's no way to bid out on something used. It was something that fit in the budget, was under the amount that was budgeted, and would work good. So, does anybody have any questions on waiving the purchasing policy on this item? Well, ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Lifer,
Yes.
Norman,
Yes.
DeCamper,
Yes.
Dennard,
Yes.
Horner,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. We'll ask for a motion to go into closed session for legal.
I'll make a motion.
Alderman Norman has made a motion.
What's it say?
Do I have a second by Alderman DeKemper. Call roll.
Norman,
Yes.
DeCamper,
Yes.
Dennard,
Yes.
Horner,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Lifer.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. We'll go into closed session.